You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Are you ready to learn the 3 secrets to launching a successful podcast? Hi, I'm Bill, a recent client of the Podcast Mogul. If you've been thinking about starting a podcast but aren't sure where to begin, he's got you covered. He is hosting a free webinar where he will share the 3 secrets that can help you launch, grow, and monetize your podcast without any fancy equipment or technical headaches. Click the link in the show notes to save your spot now and let him help get your podcast off the ground.
Welcome to Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. Join the Podcast Mogul Phil Better as he interviews successful entrepreneurs that make their living in the digital world. Now, let's join your host, Phil Better, and his special guest today on Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast.
Welcome back to Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. I am, of course, your host with the most, the Podcast Mogul himself, Phil Better. And today I'm very, very happy to have a different type of entrepreneur on the world, a more creative entrepreneur, a man who himself doesn't call himself an entrepreneur. Was very confused when his neighbors called him an entrepreneur. He just let me know that. But Mr. Henning of Paradise Studios is in the podcast. Henning, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And hello from Germany.
Yes, it's a little late for him over there. It's about 7:00, I think you mentioned, in Germany. So it's a nice little darkness in here. But you can see, if you're watching this on the YouTube, you can see his artwork in the background, and it looks fabulous. Henning, I have a great intro for you, but I'm going to read that later. I'm going to add that to the beginning of the show. I would want you to tell my audience a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Usually I'm starting off saying yo, Henning here, because I recognize that you need to have a kind of an intro if you're starting doing videos for YouTube or whatsoever. So you have an ending and an intro. So Henning here. I'm a film director, producing commercials and artist, and living or being based in Hamburg, Germany. And I'm a freelancer for not 20 years, but I started in 2005, and I started working for regular television broadcasting and made the switch to online media like starting in 2007, where YouTube was kind of young. Mm-hmm. So I started, I'm not sure when YouTube started, but it was more or less the same time when I started doing television. So it's I made the switch slowly from broadcasting and linear TV to digital media, which is more fun, more open, and at the core, which is more about the content and not about like filling time gaps for like shows or whatsoever. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm kind of hooked up to the digital age. And also, when I started doing everything, we had like analog camera, which was very big and very expensive. And I started then editing with a laptop and had smaller digital cameras. So I got like jumped on this digitalization of the industry, more or less. Yeah.
So you've seen the change in the industry, in the filmmaking industry, when it's big clunky cameras to now where people can be filming movies and commercials on their cell phones. Have you found that it's made your job easier as a filmmaker with this pretty much nearly decentralization of power and equipment?
For sure, it made my life easier because I'm not scared of new techniques or new technical stuff. So sometimes it's kind of like if you're talking to older camera guys, DOPs, and then they learn their craft, and it's like a camera has to be in this and that way, and you don't take a DSLR camera for shooting video. And I was never scared of just using the best equipment I could get to get the best outcome, because it's like, for me, the focus is always about like the story you're telling.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, if you're like developing ideas or concepts, that's like the first step. And then in the second step, you're sourcing out what kind of cameras you should use and what kind of lighting and whatsoever. But it's not the other way around, because I have this camera sitting over here, I have to use this. Because if I'm having a hammer in my hand, I just see nails, even if they are screws, because I just need to find nails, because I got it's the tool I'm having, and I'm always was always open to use for using new tools, and that's what makes maybe that's why I'm kind of successful or not, but it's not I don't have an ego when it comes to cameras and so on. It's just like I'm trying out new stuff. I was just discussing with a colleague here on the boat getting a new iPhone because it has like 4K shooting capabilities with Apple Pro RAW, and it's just like I'm using my phone so much for doing content or shooting videos that it's just like a valuable tool right now.
Yeah, it's helping, like the technology becoming more accessible and easier, and the fact that you're open to use different cameras or different techniques or different different ways of doing it, and learning about those different ways allows you to stay on the cutting edge, allows you to be more flexible and be able to meet the different budget requirements for your clients
as well. And the one thing definitely when I'm producing stuff, or if we're doing like budgets, they tend to get, because we're a smaller studio as well, so we don't have these high overhead costs. It's a bit easier to be cheaper than bigger production companies. And my first studio I run turned bigger. I had employees, and there was a different kind of budgeting as well. But in the end, the client, if they need a film, they have this challenge, and I can offer a solution for this kind of budget they're having. And if it fits, then we can work together. And if it doesn't fit, we can't work together. So it's like, but definitely it's easier if I'm using cheaper cameras. The overhead is not that expensive. If my camera costs 100K, the shooting and the productions have to be bigger, and the budget has to be bigger, because if I want to survive as an entrepreneur, I can't live with higher costs than revenue or income. So, it's basic science.
If there's more money coming in, you can do more stuff. If there's less money coming in, less stuff you can do.
I still own a Sony FS7 Mark I, and it still runs perfectly. It got paid off in the first 6 months with jobs, and I got this like for 5 years now, and it's still running. We can do live streams and whatsoever. It's still a good tool. So it's
when you find a good tool, it lasts forever. And that's
if you take care as well.
Yeah, if you take care of your tools.
Definitely at one point, I got a newer camera as well, which is capable of shooting RAW and 4.5K, like a Blackmagic also. But it's not about, in the end, it's not about camera, because you can always like lend camera gear, go to a rental and whatsoever. So it's not the things you're owning. It's, in the end, it's what's in your head. And you asked earlier if it made life easier for me or not. On the technical side or equipment side, yeah, it made life easier. On the other hand, they're like 15 or 16-year-old men, boys and girls, who can shoot better videos than I can do. Because you can teach yourself, or you can watch tutorials on YouTube. You don't need you don't need that high invest in techniques. You need a laptop, you need a handy camera, and you can start right away with shooting videos. So that's why, on the one hand, it made life easier. On the other hand, the market has grown a lot with a lot of people getting into the space. But on the other hand, I mean, every brand needs video.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not let's just say the cake got bigger as well.
Yeah, each market, as the market gets saturated, it gets bigger and bigger, so it can grow and grow. What made you want to become a content creator / digital entrepreneur?
To be honest, it's like a typical career in media. I just slipped into it and just figured out that it's quite fun and that it's something what I wanted to do. After high school, I studied economics for a year and just figured out that it's not my kind of thing. But I started with a traineeship at a local TV station here, and then I just figured out that's exactly what I want. It's kind of technical. It's kind of, I have to deal with people, which I really love, because I mean, that's like one of the upsides of this job is that I get to know so many people of shooting here and there. And when you're shooting on events, you get to know other people and your network is just growing. And that's just what makes it fun for me to relate. I mean, to build up, to fastly build up connections with people. I mean, I have to earn their trust. If somebody wants to work with me, they need to trust in me, because it's not that easy to work with me. I mean, it's the same with the art. I mean, you can say it's good or whatever, but it's definitely different and it's not for everyone. So, but that's like kind of the positioning I'm taking. So it's, I mean, that's something which separates me from other filmmakers.
Selling point. It's your unique selling point. You say, this is the vision I have. You share your art, you share the case studies and this work that you've done, and you show your portfolio, and people can see, oh, this is someone that I want to work with. They have the eye that I require. They have either the technical know-how, or they have the creative eye that you're looking for. And that's what you bring. You bring a unique viewpoint to filmmaking.
Yeah. I try to give every production kind of an edge, which sometimes is easier with clients who are more digital based and younger. But I also have clients which have more coming from traditional backgrounds, like Barclays, which is a banking company, but they don't see themselves as a regular banking company, but as a modern company. So that's why they want to work with someone like me, because I'm not producing like
it's a generic copy paste.
Copy paste videos. Yes. So it's always like, I mean, I had my first agency and I sold my shares just before the first COVID pandemic.
You got out in the perfect time.
Yeah. So I mean, you're starting off into a lockdown where there's not a lot of business rolling.
True.
You know, it was like a lot of my business came from was working with or for events like conferences and so on, and they just went flat out. Yeah. So but on the other hand, I had time to just figure out what I mean, it's not always that you're getting like a second start, so to say, or that you can reinvent yourself. So I just used the time and just figured out what is the stuff that I liked before doing, and what is just the things that I want to do. And maybe it's something which I haven't done in the last 5 years, because I mean, I don't want to live in the past and just think, oh, I had this production in 2015 and that was so much fun and I want to do more production like this. Maybe I don't want to do any film productions in 10 years. I want to do my own art projects or doing branding collaborations in fashion or architecture or building a car, whatsoever. I mean, I don't want to just limit myself on just video. I have more ideas in my head than just for film production. I mean, that can always be a part of every project that I'm pitching. I mean, like, even if I'm doing like art, pop-up galleries or whatsoever, it's like always, and we're doing like a video documentation of the whole process, and we can do a behind the scenes of the making of the pictures. And I mean, that's always like a part which I can sell, but it's not like the base.
Yeah, no, you're looking to evolve constantly. You're not looking to say sediment. You're not looking that, oh, look at what I did here, and this is all I'm going to be doing. You're like, no, I want to try something new. Like you said, you weren't scared to try new technology, new cameras and that, whereas some of the older people were like, no, this is the camera, this is the angle we have to shoot at because it's the best this and that. You're like, no, let's try something. Let's try to do something different. All good. Try to do something different. Let's try use this camera because maybe we'll be able to get a different angle that's going to be even more impressive than just the regular standard view that people are getting. And by constantly trying and you're challenging yourself by doing different aspects, by bringing on different clients or doing different things, you're challenging yourself to be better.
Yeah, I definitely challenge myself all the time, and it's not about, I mean, definitely I'm evolving, but if it's better or not, I don't want to judge. It's just like, if I'm having ideas, I'm just trying to approach those ideas, make them reality, or doing like a beta or alpha versions of those ideas and see how people are reacting to these ideas, and then just see if I can take it to the next step or not. And if not, that's fine. I got way more ideas. But that's like the challenge. I have way too many ideas. And I mean, I think an idea hasn't any worth if it's just an idea. But if you start to like turning this idea into reality, getting after it, and just putting work into getting your idea on the table or as a product on the road or whatsoever, then it's getting worth.
The worthwhile is there, yeah. So in your journey from starting your first digital agency, for your first studio to where you are now, you've probably collected a plethora of memories. Is there one that sticks out that you're like, this is kind of like cements the reason why you enjoyed working in your field? Or is there one that you care to share with us?
Yeah, I'm just it's always hard to find like this one production or this one memory. It's just like, I mean, if we break it down, I can have a memory for every year and even every month if you're going back into details and if I rethink a bit longer. I mean, the basic life that I'm living is that I got to see more or less maybe a third of the world through my work, because I was traveling, working on golf tournaments for BMW in China, in America. I got to LA for Porsche. I was in Dubai for golf. I was in Dubai for tennis. I was in Morocco for golf. So I got to see the world with my work, which is like where I just feel I'm very blessed. And this is like not a big memory, but this is something which that's something which I don't want to miss. Like traveling, being a week, like in different country, in a different city, getting to know the city kind of, because you always have to shoot some scenics. So you're always arriving, then you have maybe a half day off or whatsoever to just getting to deal with the jet lag. And the next day is okay, we have to shoot scenics, and then you get to see the places you're staying in. So, and that's something which I really like, but also I'm always getting, if I shoot with people, these are not like the people from around the corner, but sometimes these are people who achieved something ridiculous, something big, who are musicians or who are famous for maybe famous actors or singers and whatsoever. So I'm getting to work with them, getting to know them for, let's say, an hour or whatsoever, but I'm getting a glimpse of how they are. through the work that I'm doing. And that's something which I really, really love.
That's amazing. The connections you get to make because of your job, your work, but also the places you get to travel, those memories, those core memories that you're creating and those interactions that you're creating is unbelievable.
I mean, one of the challenge after I made my exit was that a lot of my memories were attached to my old company, which was kind of my baby. So, and that's why one of the first things I did was I did t-shirts or sweaters, and it just got like, the tagline was new memories. So it was just to visualize for myself, okay, you can't live in the past. It's over now. This chapter is done. And now you have to write your own chapter. And that's why it says new memories. I also got it, I think, I have to find it somewhere here. What did it say? New memories. So,
I love that.
Just a constant reminder to just don't live in the past, even if it's very beautiful, but just
keep moving forward. There's no new. I love the new memories. I think that's an amazing tagline to have for your life. The one that I have, I don't have it tattooed on me yet, but the one that I go by is seek discomfort. Just because on the other side of discomfort is growth. So you're like creating new memories. It's the same thing. I mean,
it's the same with fear. I mean, it's like one of the things which helps me is like whenever I'm feared, or I'm feeling kind of fear for doing some action or whatsoever, I'm just trying to approach this fear, because if you're going right into this kind of painful area, you just recognize, okay, it's not that bad as you think, because everything is playing out in your head. And then after you've done those things which you're kind of fear or you're scared to do, you just see, okay, it's very easy. And after that, it's just freedom and relaxation. And I thought about tattooing this myself, fear, but with a strike through.
Ooh.
But I don't want to give fear that much space. So it just doesn't. It doesn't get the space on my skin. So I don't want to be reminded that there's fear. It's just like, it's a mindset thing, but it's just like you have to just, every time when you think there are limitations, the first limitation is in your head that you're thinking too small. You're just limiting yourself. Because, I mean, I don't want to sound like a meme or mindset thing, but it's just like you have to think bigger to approach some things. And it's just like you can't limit yourself. There are too many limitations outside. You have gravitation, so that's why you can't fly. But there are ways to work around. So there's still ways with an airplane you can fly. So it's just like, don't limit yourself.
No,
go ahead.
I love it, because it is true. Like the limiting beliefs that people have, and you're right. It starts with right here. And nearly every single entrepreneur that I've talked with is like, you first have to get your mind right and change the way you're thinking so that you can become the success that you need. And like you said, and I love the fact that you were thinking about getting the tattoo fear with a line crossed out of it, through it, but chose not to, because by giving fear a place on your body, you're giving it an anchor to be in your life, regardless of if it's crossed out or not. It's still there, and it's going to be present in your life. And you don't want to have that in your life. You want to have it outside your life. And you're like, and you just, I love it.
Definitely it's there sometimes, but it's just, I don't need a constant reminder of that there's fear. There's so much fear around me. I mean, if I'm having sometimes I'm having really kind of crazy ideas, and if I'm just telling those ideas other people, they're just saying, yeah, you're nuts. But that's just their limiting beliefs and not mine. And I'm not talking about going to the moon or whatsoever, but I think giving 5 to 10 years time, it can still work out. So just have to. Cheers, Henry. My colleague is just leaving. So
it is a little late. So a long day at the office, and I don't want to take up too much more of your time.
It's fine. I still have some work to do here. So
that's great.
Yeah.
if you could give a piece of advice to someone that's starting or looking to come into the creative entrepreneur world, where it's either filmmaking, editing, or even art, what kind of advice would you have for someone looking to start that world?
I think it's two points. First of all, is make. Just do things constantly. Don't be scared of anything. And the other thing, which is maybe that's like the creative part, is just don't limit yourself and just go ahead, approach things. And the other thing is that even, and that's the entrepreneurial part of it, even if it makes a lot of fun and it's just you're doing fulfilling things for yourself, you always need to get paid for it as well. Because fun in the end doesn't pay the rent. So you always, you have to figure out what your worth is. And then you have to find the right clients or brands you're collaborating or working with. And that's like something which I needed to learn, or which was one of the most important learnings I made, was to say no. No to jobs, no to projects, even if I liked them, but if there wasn't something fitting, like sometimes it was the budget, sometimes it was just like that I had the feeling that there were too many red flags in communicating with the client, even when the budget was proper or more than enough. It was just like, I just figured out it's better to say no to projects, because I'm not tangled too many projects. And if I don't have a project, I can still paint or do other stuff and can take care of my own ideas and projects. And I don't need to, kind of waste my time, sacrifice or waste my time for others. So that's a very important thing. And they are always like, I mean, sometimes it's even in the beginning, it's not that easy to say no to jobs and also to go on holidays, because you're thinking, okay, because a lot of my work is project based. So there's not like, I don't have any retainers. It's just like projects coming in. They're lasting sometimes 3 months, sometimes 2 weeks, whatsoever. So it's like, and then in the beginning you had the feeling, okay, if I'm on holidays and if I'm 2 weeks gone, there will be another filling in my gap. I'm coming back and I don't have any jobs. That's why you didn't allow yourself to go on holidays, but that's bullshit. You can go on holidays whenever you want. Sure, if I'm going on holidays, I still have my laptop with me. I'm checking emails once or twice a day to just see if there are new requests and whatsoever. That's just part of my job. It's like I'm not offline for 2 weeks and gone. I don't need that as well. It doesn't wear me out to checking emails and see. It's even different. If it's even like empowering that I know, okay, I got projects coming in after my holidays and their requests, and life goes on, and it just makes life sometimes a bit easier. But yeah, this is like one advice: learn to say no.
I love it. No, it's a very important thing. And it's a lesson that I'm learning as well as a young entrepreneur, learning to say no, choosing the right clients that won't give you the headaches, and that will help you take you to the next level as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's like a goal as well, to find clients where you can together have a kind of a growth for, let's just say 2 or 3 or 4 years, and then they're coming in other clients or other companies, brands, whatsoever. So it's always involving. And I mean, yeah.
I love it. Henning, we are coming to the end, so I'm going to ask you the spark question of the episode. With the end of the year coming up, we are in the final push here. What are you currently looking forward to?
This year or next year?
Let's say next year. Let's say in 2023, what are you currently looking forward to?
I'm looking for doing more art exhibitions. I had the plan for this year to do 5 exhibitions, and I did like 1.5. because I did some group exhibitions, and group exhibitions are just like half check. So that's what I'm currently focusing on, because I need to schedule those, those exhibitions. So I have them fixed, and then I can do all my video productions all around. So I got these things crossed out, because this is something which is not depressing, but it's something which I'm not very happy about, that I got lost track of doing more art, because I want to grow my art practice as well. And I'm sitting on a lot of paintings here, and I'm here on a houseboat, so space is limited, and my colleagues are saying, yeah, it's nice that you're very productive, but it's also nice that we are not your archive and it's still an office for everyone. So yeah,
I love it. I look forward to being able to come to one of your art exhibitions in the future, Henning. Henning, I'm going to jump
Maybe
off.
We should make something happen in Montreal.
Oh, I would. Yes, I would love that. I would love for a chance to see an exhibition here. I'm going to jump off the screen here. I'm going to give you the chance to let my audience know where they can find you, how to follow you, and how to support you. So the floor, sir, is yours.
Yeah. So you can follow me on Instagram. I mean, that's, I think, the best way. And it's paradise___studio. And the picture is a palm. I think that's the easiest way. And I don't have an OnlyFans account yet, and no Patreon, but just look for Paradise Studio with a palm, and then we're good.
Awesome. Henning, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. It was an awesome time to talk with you. I look forward to seeing everything that comes from you. To my audience, the show notes will have all the links to support Henning and find out where he's going to be in the future. And again, before I sign off, thank you again, Henning, and to the rest of the world, remember to invest in yourself.
Thanks for tuning in. Now it's time to take the next step. When you're ready to dive deeper into how to launch, grow, and monetize your podcast, Phil's got something special for you. Join him for a free webinar where he'll reveal the 3 secrets that have helped countless entrepreneurs succeed in podcasting. Click the link in the show notes to save your spot, and let's turn your podcasting dreams into reality.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Your wealth makes you an irresistible target to online criminals. According to Saltus Wealth, 41% of high net worth individuals report having been victims of financial crime. Unfortunately, off-the-shelf digital security solutions aren't robust enough to protect high-profile individuals like you. So what can you do? Rely on Concierge Digital Security from Reputation Defender. Concierge Digital Security is not just another app to install, it's a team of experts working in the background to protect you and your family. Behind the scenes, Reputation Defender bundles a suite of best-in-class security solutions covering virtually every aspect of your digital life, from digital identity to online privacy, identity fraud, insurance, and home device protection. Your concierge helps manage all of these for you. Visit reputationdefender.com/success to learn more or schedule your private consultation. That's reputationdefender.com/success.